Shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome to Breaking Doctrine. My name is Solomon ben Yehowada. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Do you know how to read and understand the Bible? This is a very important question. I'm going to show you a very simple way to read the Word of God and understand what you're reading. So let's get started. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verses 9 and 10. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept. So many people ask, what is a precept? A precept is a command or an instruction. So to break that verse down in layman's term, it would say, for command must be upon command, instruction upon instruction. Right? Now watch this. Line upon line, line upon line. Here a little and there a little. Meaning verse upon verse, right? When you see a comma or a period or a semicolon, that is the line. Line upon line, here a little and there a little, meaning from the New Testament to the Old Testament, from the Old Testament to the New Testament. And there's also the books of the Apocrypha. That's also included upon line, right? Here's how you do it. Matthew chapter 26, verse 17. Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Jesus, saying unto him, where wilt thou that we prepare for thee to eat the Passover? So the apostles were asking him, where do you want us to prepare the Passover so that we can eat? So how do we figure out what the words unleavened bread, feast of unleavened bread, and the Passover? How do we figure out what those are? Well, you remember Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 10 when it says, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept. So now we're going to precept upon precept follow the commands and the instructions of how to carry out the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Watch this. Deuteronomy chapter 16 and verse 16. 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord thy God, in the place which he shall choose. In the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and in the Feast of Weeks, and in the Feast of Tabernacle, and they shall not appear before the Lord empty. Meaning, in these 3 feasts, the people that come, the males that come, they should have an abundance of what is requisited for that feast, right? So if it's a lamb, you have enough lambs. If it's corn, then you have enough corn. If it's bread, then you have enough bread. Bottom line. Here we go. Watch this. Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 3. This is the line upon line. Thou shalt eat no leavened bread with it. 7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread therewith, and the bread of affliction, for thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt in haste. So that's why they eat the unleavened bread, because in order for bread to be leavened, you have to bake it. In order for you to bake it, it takes time. Well, when you eat it unleavened, that means it's unbaked. It's just the crisp, like cracker form right there. And that's what they had to eat, because they were leaving out of Egypt very fast. They didn't have time to do anything. So that's why they eat. That's why we eat to this day the unleavened bread. This is the book of Numbers, chapter 9, verses 1 through 5. And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the first month of the 2nd year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Let the children of Israel also keep the Passover at his appointed season. So we're talking about the Feast of Unleavened Bread and the Passover. They go together, right? Now watch this. We covered the Feast of Unleavened Bread part, right? Now we're going to cover the Passover part. Watch this. In the 14th day of this month at even, the first month at even, ye shall keep it according to his appointed season, according to all the rites of it, and according to all the ceremonies thereof shall ye keep it. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel that they should keep the Passover. Verse 5. And they kept the Passover in the 14th day of the first month at even, in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So did the children of Israel. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 12. And we're going to jump around a little bit. But this is verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, verse 2, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Verse 3, Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel, saying, In the 10th day of this month they shall take to them every man a lamb, according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats. And ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. And the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening. And they shall take the blood and strike it upon the 2 side posts and the upper doorpost of the houses wherein they shall eat. Verse 8, And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire and unleavened bread, and with bitter herbs they shall eat it. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generations. Ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever. That's why Christ and the apostles were still doing it. That's why they did it in the book of Acts chapter 2. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month at even, ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month at even. So from the 14th day of the first month until the 21st day of that same month, you gotta keep the feast of unleavened bread, right? So 7 days. Verse 19, 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses. For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. Meaning, if you eat leavened bread between the 14th and 21st day in the first month, you're going to be killed or cut off from the congregation of Israel. Whether you be an Israelite that's a born Israelite, or whether you be somebody from another nation that humbles themselves and becomes what they call a stranger, right? That's somebody that is not an Israelite that adopts the customs of the Israelites, meaning like a servant or a maid or somebody of that nature, okay? Verse 20, ye shall eat nothing leavened. In all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread. See, that was easy. Very easy. So until next time, peace, and may the Most High God bless you.